What is a mesothelioma law firm? A law firm specializing in cases related to mesothelioma, a cancer caused by asbestos exposure. Why should I hire a mesothelioma law firm? They have expertise in handling mesothelioma cases and seeking compensation. How can a mesothelioma law firm help me? They can assist with legal claims and securing compensation for asbestos exposure. Can they help with cases involving asbestos-related diseases other than mesothelioma? Some firms specialize specifically in mesothelioma, while others handle broader asbestos-related cases. Do I need a specialized firm for mesothelioma cases? It's beneficial as they have in-depth knowledge of the specific cancer and related laws. What sets a mesothelioma law firm apart from other personal injury lawyers? They focus solely on asbestos-related cases, offering specialized expertise. Can they handle cases for individuals diagnosed with mesothelioma? Yes, they represent mesothelioma patients seeking legal help. Can they assist with cases on behalf of deceased loved ones due to mesothelioma? Yes, they handle wrongful death claims related to mesothelioma. How do they prove asbestos exposure caused mesothelioma? They gather evidence linking asbestos exposure to the diagnosis. Can they help me if my asbestos exposure happened decades ago? Yes, they have experience with cases involving past exposure. How can they identify liable parties in my mesothelioma case? They investigate your work history and exposure sources. What compensation can I seek in a mesothelioma case? Medical expenses, lost wages, pain and suffering, and more. Can they handle cases against asbestos manufacturers and employers? Yes, they pursue claims against responsible parties. What if I don't know where my asbestos exposure occurred? They can help identify potential exposure sources. Do I need to file a lawsuit if I have mesothelioma? Not always. They can help you explore legal options. Can they negotiate settlements with asbestos trusts on my behalf? Yes, they're skilled at negotiating with asbestos trusts. Will I need to go to court for my mesothelioma case? It depends on the specifics of your case. They'll advise you accordingly. Can I get a free consultation with a mesothelioma law firm? Many offer free consultations to discuss your case. Can they help with filing claims with asbestos bankruptcy trusts? Yes, they assist in navigating trust claims. Can they handle cases for veterans with mesothelioma due to military asbestos exposure? Yes, they have experience with military-related cases. What if I'm diagnosed with mesothelioma years after exposure? They can still help you seek compensation. How do they build a strong case for mesothelioma claims? They gather medical records, work history, and other evidence. Can they handle cases involving secondary asbestos exposure? Yes, they can pursue claims for secondary exposure cases. Can I trust their expertise in mesothelioma cases? Yes, their specialized knowledge makes them reliable. How do they prove negligence in asbestos exposure cases? They establish a connection between exposure and the diagnosis. How can they help if asbestos exposure occurred at multiple locations? They'll identify liable parties from each exposure source. Can they help if the asbestos company responsible for my exposure went bankrupt? Yes, they navigate trust claims for bankrupt companies. What if I'm unsure if my mesothelioma was caused by asbestos exposure? They can review your case and help determine the cause. Can they handle cases involving asbestos exposure in homes? Yes, they investigate all sources of exposure, including homes. What is the statute of limitations for mesothelioma cases? It varies by location, so consult them for precise information. Can they handle cases involving medical costs for mesothelioma treatment? Yes, they consider medical expenses in your case. Can they represent me in court if the case goes to trial? Yes, they have trial experience if needed. Can they handle cases involving asbestos exposure in schools? Yes, they investigate all sources of exposure, including schools. Will they provide support throughout the legal process? Yes, they'll guide you and address your concerns. How can I contact a mesothelioma law firm for a consultation? Reach out to them to discuss your mesothelioma situation.